Hi guys, it's me Tiffany, and I want to give you an update on the progress of my garden. Here she is. She's beautiful. I'm very excited. I don't subscribe to any particular method of gardening. You know, some people have square foot gardens and back to Eden gardens and all that good old stuff. I don't have a method. I just do what I do. And so anyway, let's take a look. Here is my GreenStalk tower. This thing is awesome. You can see I have lots of stuff planted. A lot of the stuff was started from seed. That is why it's still not full and bushy, but I predict in a month this thing will be really bushy. Something that I did not start from seed were my strawberries, and you can see these things are in full bloom. They are doing their thing. I predict I'll have lots of strawberries here in a bit. My goal is to get another one of these towers and fill it with strawberries. Okay, so right here is my tangerine. This had difficulty indoors because of low humidity. It pretty well, like, the limbs died. I had to cut it back just to the main trunk, and you can tell it's grown out beautifully. In the base, I have spinach, there's a pineapple, a aloe, and who knows what else planted. Let's go over here. And in this first section of my raised garden bed, I have watermelon right here. I have a sunflower here, and there's another one somewhere. And then I have this pumpkin. This pumpkin is Musque provence, or Cinderella pumpkin. And the plan with that is to run it out into the yard. It can go as far as the road and then stop. And then, of course, I have my different tomatoes. This first cage right here, there are 2 tomatoes per cage. These are Brandywine pink. And then in the middle are Porterhouse. And then over there on the end is a rainbow. And you can't see it, but down at the bottom there's a delicious tomato. Here I have a combination of squash and zucchini. Look at the squash hanging here, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. This first plant, and there's a plant in between right here. Those are squash. Then there's a plant over there and a plant on the other side. Those are both zucchini. What I've done is to prevent the squash from, like, just bushing and going everywhere. I'm trying growing them in cages and encouraging them to grow up. And you can tell looking right here that this plant is growing in an upward direction. Another benefit of getting it to grow up is that when that squash starts hanging, it's not hitting the ground and it's not introducing pathogens to my fruit. On the other side of the squash, I have beans. Now, these were supposed to be space-saving bush beans, but I don't think anyone told the beans that. These beans are beautiful and they are everywhere. And if you look, they are starting to set beans. And then in this third section of my raised garden bed is a hodgepodge of things. I just kept throwing stuff in here. Originally, it was supposed to be a sweet potato bed, which it is. And then I started throwing okra in there. So there's okra here, here, and if you look, it's in there somewhere. The goal is that that okra will get tall and hopefully tower above the sweet potato vines, and therefore it'll get sun. Random sunflower. I ended up putting tomatoes here, and there's one there. Again, I'm thinking that those will stand taller than the sweet potatoes. Also, some onions that I had that were growing indoors. I just stuck those in there. Onion here, onion there, here, there. Like I said, I'm just sticking stuff everywhere. And then over here, these are actually volunteer cucumbers from my garden last year. I had like tons of these little things grow up, and I plucked them all up, and except these 2, and they're doing their thing. So my next section is a hodgepodge of stuff as well. We have corn, sweet corn, and then planted in between the sweet corn is beans. The thought there is that those are vining beans, will grow up the sweet corn. And then also stuck all around the edges, I have sweet onions. They're supposed to be, I think, yellow Granax onions, something such as that. And then I have right here some tomatoes. These are both Brandywine pink, and I think that's it. This next section receives shade a lot. If you see, there's a tree above that, and this section has morning sun but afternoon shade, and for that reason I planted in here a lot of my, what some people would consider cool weather crops. But I have loads of lettuce, and there's spinach. You see carrots back here, and then these are broccoli, and then even back there that receives shade too, that's cabbage, and there's some random herbs back there. In the front receives pretty well full sun, so in order to create a little bit of shade for my cool weather plants back there, I'm growing cucumbers. This cucumber right here is supposed to be a long burpless cucumber. It just started setting fruit, so you can see right here, here's a fruit that was set. And then this one right here is just a traditional cucumber. Behind, you see I do compost. It's so odd, I bought this online, and composters are pretty expensive, and then like a week later trash day came, and I looked out on the road across the street from me, and look what was on the street. A composter, just like the one that I had paid about $70 for. Interesting. Now I have two. So I just have stuff sticking everywhere. This is just a pot of dirt that was just sitting there, so why not? I stuck some sunflowers in there, and I transplanted some cold weather stuff. There's a little bit of lettuce. It's not planned, just stuck there. You can see here that I'm trying to grow strawberries from seed. I got some strawberries from the store, and I stuck like a sliver of the strawberries in here, and you can see it's growing. I'll be honest, there were more, but they just don't seem to be all that hardy. This here is a plant that I've had forever. It's a pineapple plant. It did produce a pineapple. Pineapple's long gone. It produced a pineapple last summer, and I just left it sitting there, but it's producing another plant. So there you go. Now on the back side of my raised garden bed, I have another row right here. Again, this part is more in shade. I have this is parsley. This is going to seed because this has actually been here since last year, but this is parsley that was produced from seed this year. It hasn't really taken off yet. I have cilantro right here. Right here, that's basil. Of course, chives. My chives seem to be really happy right here. This right here is broccoli. It's probably not getting enough sun. I did start this from seed. It is what it is. And then this is cabbage. These were started from seed. And then these are cabbage too. This one right here, and there's one right there. One right here. These were started, I'd say, I don't know, maybe a month earlier than these. So that's why these are smaller. Those are bigger. And then I have garlic. These right here are Brussels sprouts. These two right here were started about a month earlier than these, so that's why these are small. Another reason why these are not the biggest is because they're in a more shaded section, and plus they're having to compete with the corn for light, but that's okay. I'm trying to keep them a little bit cooler so they don't bolt on me. And then I have like more garlic here, there. You can see there's lots of garlic that goes on that way. And then here's some random okra. Right here are beets. And then I had some fennel seeds which I planted right here. Out of the fennel seeds, some of them sprouted, not many, and the only one that seems like it's trying to cling to life is this right here. That's okay. This one looks really nice, and I've been trying to make sure I fertilize it so that it'll grow. Here, I forget what these are. This is stuff that I ended up moving for whatever reason. Don't know what it is. It's okay. And then I have a fence here. The goal of this fence is to grow melons up this fence. The melons that I have planted are cantaloupe. And then these are Crenshaw melons. And then over there, there are actually lots of watermelons. These are sugar baby bush watermelons. So according to what I read, the vine should not get more than 4 feet tall, and this fence is about 4 feet tall. So hopefully I can trail those up the fence, make little hammocks for the fruit, and it'll be all good. And then this over here is another tangerine tree grown from seed. It did have fruit last year. It sets the fruit like a little bit too late, and it's hard for me to keep that light going in the winter. So we'll see what happens. This year it has not set any fruit, but you can tell it's grown. At the base here, I have some random things planted. Pineapple, spinach, and there's some beans right there. For those of you who followed my dragon fruits, I had to let most of them go. Here's the reason. They got huge, and I really didn't have any place to store them in the winter. And then these I stored outside, and you can tell this one sustained a lot of damage right here. But thankfully, it's got these roots right here, and those roots are running down, and it's sustaining this. This is doing beautifully. Another thing I did to this, I took the trellises that I had out and I cut them down. Another problem I was having is like when they grow and they get top heavy, it was hard for the pots to stand up. So I took these down. Those posts, I would say from the ground up, are about maybe 3 feet tall. This right here, I had a huge American Beauty plant, and it sustained a lot of damage. So excuse me, I just cut it back, and this is what I have right now. I'm having to start from scratch, which is fine. That's going to be pretty much it with my dragon fruit plants, those two. Actually, I don't know if you caught this back there in that pineapple. There are remnants of Solenocerius megalanthus yellow dragon fruit plant. Okay, in front of all this is my tubs of potatoes. This is Yukon Gold. That's Yukon Gold, and this is just random stuff. There were some potatoes growing eyes in my mother's place, and I just stuck them in soil. That's what those are. I forgot to show you, behind my dragon fruit plants are some random tomatoes. I don't know what these are. I kind of lost track of what I was sticking where. In here, I have a calamondin orange plant. It does produce calamondin oranges. At the base of here, there is some volunteer purslane, which I am keeping because it is edible. I don't really eat it. I've tried it. It's not, like, in my opinion, the best. Here's a random pineapple, and then there's a random bean. And then we're back where we started at our tower and pumpkins. So that's it, guys. There's an update of my garden. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.